All right, so in this video, I want to talk about what it's like to actually be an online entrepreneur. How do you even get to this level? The reason I'm recording this video is really for myself, partially to share with you guys my journey. It's going to be a strange video. It's going to take a while for me to make sense of all my thoughts. But I promise you, if you make it to the end of this video, you will either just get some dopamine and motivation by hearing everything that I gotta say, or you might just extract some value that will help you on your entrepreneurial journey. So, anyway, I'll begin with introducing myself. My name is Egor, and just in case you don't know who I am and you're new to the channel, I run this channel called AI Guy. I'm gonna have it, I guess, right here and on the screen. And the reason I'm credible to even be speaking on this subject of online entrepreneurship is because, again, I'm running this faceless channel. Well, it's not really faceless anymore, technically. So I'm just running this YouTube channel in AI niche, and this channel, like around this channel, I run a lot of businesses. One of which is my info product. You can see the dashboard right here. I think we're currently sitting at a little over 300K for the year, which is not like millions, but it's still a substantial amount of money. And then I've done a bunch of brand deals. I'm gonna put up some invoices right here. And then I've done a lot of money as an affiliate. I have probably generated over $500,000 in revenue for brands. And I hope that's enough to make you believe that I am somewhat credible to be speaking on this subject. Not only that, in the past month, and the reason I'm here in Miami currently, and yes, I'm here in Miami, as you can see, at this amazing apartment with this amazing view. I decided to come here for a month because currently I'm in a very important period and transition, not really a transition stage, but just going through a very important period of my life because I am building a software. And so in the past month, I just wanted to come here to this very inspirational place because it really is an inspirational place, and to focus on building my software, so to speak. But anyway, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is me wanting to reflect on my entrepreneurial journey and to really explain to you guys what it took me to get here. And the reason for this video is because lately, first of all, I've just been feeling super grateful. I mean, I truly come from nothing, you could say, and I'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, it just really feels insane. I mean, in the month of March, I made $42,000 in my profit, which is like a lot of money. I used to make that in 2 years. It used to be two of my annual salaries, and now I make that in a month. Now in the month of April, which is now, I haven't been focused as much on AI Guy because I have been building the software, so my revenue dropped a little bit in the month of April. I made just only 30K, just a tiny 30K. Which, I mean, obviously I'm being sarcastic. It's still a lot of money, right? Kind of 30K. Like, here's the thing. I'm originally from Russia. Then I lived for a while in Eastern Europe. Then I came to America. And when I came to America, I started working as a pizza maker at a minimum wage job. And I'm also going to make sure to put up a video right here, just so you don't think I'm some goofball making this up. I genuinely used to make pizzas. I know what it's like to get your hands dirty. I know what it's like to listen to somebody's commands. I know what it's like to when you have to ask somebody's permission to go home in order to finish your work shift. It's quite an embarrassing and a humiliating experience. I've been there. And going from this to what I am now and what I'm doing now is quite an insane journey. And so it truly is. I can't, unless you've been on this kind of a journey and you've experienced a real come up, I could not possibly explain what it all feels like. Nothing but gratefulness, truly. And that's the better way to put it. Lately, I just been feeling super grateful, and I've been thinking how I got here, and just it's time to really reflect. And so in this video, I basically wanted to reflect on my own journey and to tell you guys how it all went, how it all happened, and maybe you can extract some lessons. So to begin with, the reason I even got started thinking in this direction is, and just stay with me here, just let me build up the stories. First of all, and this is not my sneaky way to promote my community, but I do run this paid community. It really has to do with my main channel, so I'm not promoting it here on this channel, but just know it as a fact. I run this paid community and I provide service to people. And what I do is I sell a course technically within the community so that they can join and they can watch my course, which is about building YouTube channels and the art of YouTube in general. And also another service I offer within the community is live weekly calls. So if you were to join, watch my course, and then you want to hop on a call with me directly and just ask me questions, you can do that. And again, I'm not promoting, that's true. I swear to God, this is not a promotion right now. I'm just explaining a point. And so, and logically, a lot of the people who join those calls, they would be typically beginner level entrepreneurs, really at the stage zero. And so a very common pattern I see amongst those people is they don't, like their mindset is not in the right place. And so what I noticed, typically people would ask me a lot of the wrong questions. People often want to know, hey, what's like the best business model, right? Or in the context of YouTube, how do I quickly run up my channel? How do I quickly make money? What's like a low effort way to make money? I hear this all the time. People want to make money in a low effort way. People don't respect the grind. And so that's kind of the point of my video. I want to explain to you guys what it really took me, and it kind of, yeah, it's kind of all accumulating. It's been accumulating inside of me, so I had to make this video. You guys, you see, you have to understand that entrepreneurship is really a weird game. It's really you versus the world, and only you dictate whether you're gonna win or not. You are really in control, and so you have to understand that you have to respect the grind, and sometimes you have to go the hard way. That's really my message. That it took me so long to start getting to my point. I'm now getting to it. You have to respect the grind, and you have to respect the hard way. And there is no other way but the hard way. And until you understand that, you're just going to be wobbling around and wasting your precious time, because time is truly what it is all about. We only have one life. So that's like really my first major point, and kind of I want to show you guys something. And the reason I'm telling you all that is because at the time I was like barely above 20 years old. I think I was like 22, and I already started like trying to hustle. I had no idea what I was doing, but back then I was doing a TikTok account. I want to show you. I mean, okay, the camera doesn't really show. I'm gonna make sure to put it up here on the screen as well. And so back then I was doing this TikTok account, and I just came across this account today. It just appeared on my radar, and actually it really was the reason for me to make this video. And it almost got me emotional. I looked at this account and I was like, wow, so that is what it took me. Hear me out. I made my first entrepreneurial attempts like 4 years ago. It all began. At the time, I didn't understand what I was doing. I had no clue. I was completely lost. But one thing I understood for some reason is just I had to put in the reps. And because I already back then, 4 years ago, started respecting the grind, it allowed my skills to start accumulating. Because you see, the game of entrepreneurship and the art of entrepreneurship is really ultimately is a game of accumulating skills. And for some people like myself, I mean, technically, I started attempting to hustle online. I tried, trying all kinds of business models when I was like 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, I would play video games with my friends, and we would deploy cheats, and we would boost accounts, and we would sell them for like $2 profit. It was my first conscious attempts. And I tried theme pages, and I tried obviously the TikTok that you just saw, which was very awful, and it got me nowhere. It only got a little over 200 subs, and it really didn't get me nowhere. But every single thing and attempt, it taught me a little something. So for example, TikTok, it taught me video editing, running Instagram theme pages, and I also saw moderate success. I ran up a theme page about cats. I was posting cat video, like viral cat videos, just reposting, and I got that page to like 10K subs. And what did that teach me? That taught me the fact that you can grow an account on social media, and it's really not a matter of if, but it's a matter of how many reps are you willing to put in. So I just understood that. And little things like that. This business model taught me this, and this taught me this, and it all accumulated, and it kind of stayed within me. Of course, I wasn't trying like business model back to back business model. It's not how that goes. I would try one, like most of you guys, it's normally sprints. You would try a business model, you would try it for 3 months or so, you're ambitious, and then you give up, you burn out for a year, and then a year later you try something again. It typically goes like that. And eventually I was in a position where in 2023 I saw AI like just exploding as a niche, as a topic, and I saw an opportunity to create a channel such as AI Guy, where I could basically document my journey, exploring AI. And that was really my initial idea. I was like, okay, let me just create this channel where I go crazy, being like an AI mad scientist, and let's just see how it goes. But the reason I was able to pull this off, move so quickly, pump out a bunch of videos right away and get going, is because I had skills within me. They were just kind of compounded within me, and they were waiting, I guess, for the day to come and for something to click in my mind and for me to finally execute. And does that make sense? I hope so. And that is it. That is literally the key to entrepreneurship. You just need to never give up. It might sound cliche, but it's literally the sauce. It's the secret. You just need to never give up, and you need to be reckless as far as trying new things out and just believing in yourself, believing in the journey. Here's the thing. I tried the previous business models that never worked, but I was trying them for some reason. I was believing in myself, and Anyway, I'm kind of yapping now. And another thing I want to bring up is I also watched a video of Alex Hermosi today. He also talked about a very similar thing, and that also kind of inspired me to make this video. Is he talked that he not only failed a bunch of times, this guy went in debt at some point. At I think he was in debt at over $100,000 with one of his businesses. And I'm not gonna like tell his story on his behalf, but basically it took him nine failed businesses in order to discover his real business. All right, he had to fail so many times to position himself, but as he was failing, he was accumulating skills, and then he was positioned so incredibly well that he just exploded and became a $100 million CEO and whatnot. And that's same kind of story and concept and logic applies to every single great entrepreneur out there. And I'm not calling myself a great entrepreneur, but you really think about it, every great entrepreneur, like Elon Musk, for example, you might have heard stories of him, at least so he says, he was working 100 hours a week at Tesla and sleeping on the floor. And I believe it. I saw him saying it in certain interviews, and I looked at his eyes, on the interview, and I believed in it. I don't know. It's a very controversial person, so you guys have your own opinions, but I believe in it. Or Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, $1 trillion corporation. This guy was sitting in his garage, willing to sacrifice his time and just trust the grind for the first 5 years without seeing any profit. That is what it takes sometimes. And going back to the topic where I'm in an interesting position where I'm an entrepreneur now and I'm making really anywhere from 30 to like 40 and more $1,000 a month because of what my channel is able to generate. And I talk to certain high level individuals here in Miami that make 6, 7, 8 figures. But I also, again, due to the fact that I also teach people in my community, and I'm not promoting, I'm just saying, I also get to talk to people who are really at the start of their journey. And the number one pattern I see is just people people are not willing to commit to the grind. They're not willing to go the hard way. They're not willing to just put their head down and get to work. And even if it's gonna take them a few failed YouTube channels, eventually they will discover the one. They won't get lucky, but the persistence will get them the win. It's all about the persistence. Like, it's all about the persistence and simply the ability to push yourself through the strange times where, I can tell you this. If you're right now, if you're broke and if you're just looking for a way to escape the situation and you have this weird feeling inside of you that you are just not matching the society, and you're meant to do more in life, well, act on it. Act on it and do something. And as I'm saying this, it made me think. I made in the very last video I made on this channel, you can actually go to my channel and find the very video I posted before this one. There's gonna be you're gonna find a very interesting comment from a particular individual. And I'm not the guy to usually react to comments. I think reacting to haters is like going down to the level of haters mentally, which is brain dead. But I'll mention it for once. Anyway, there was this comment that was saying, and for context, in the video I was talking how basically it was a very similar video to this one. It was just kind of, I was dropping mindset and brain dumping on you guys, so reflecting my journey. And the previous video was titled POV 42K a month entrepreneur, blah blah blah, because last month I made 42K. So I was like, why not make a video titled 42K a month entrepreneur something something? That would be cool, right? And that person was like almost angry at me. That person was like, yeah, so if you're making all this money, why don't you just give away all the blueprints for free? I'll now buy a course and just teach us for free, dude. Just give everything to us for free right now and here. What are you doing otherwise? Why are you here on YouTube? And you know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. He was just basically angry at me. Think about that. And I was like, bro, like, what's your problem? You're sitting there behind a computer screen and you're just raging at a guy who's genuinely sharing his journey. So the point I'm trying to make here is this person was really blaming me for the fact that he doesn't want to take action. Where all you gotta do is you just really have to take the first step, and you will learn along the way. That's really the secret. That's the key. You have to have courage, and you have to be brave enough to take that first step. And that is the reality of being an online entrepreneur, or just an entrepreneur in general, but specifically in this online business world. You just need to take the first step. Every single business model works. Dropshipping works, agency works, selling courses works, running YouTube automation channel works, name me a single business model and we're going to find successful people. What you're going to do then is, well, yeah, first of all, you identify your business model, whatever it is you want to do. I mean, it should be better off something like that's in demand and something somewhat trending, somewhat AI related, just to be future proof. And then you find a bunch of successful people who do and practice that business model, and you reverse engineer their steps and what they got to teach, what they got to say. A lot of people nowadays, they just document their journey on YouTube and they make videos like this. Like, go around YouTube, find a few people that you want to learn from, model their behaviors, kind of take notes on what they got to say, and that will be your first steps. And then just start doing, start stepping, start making your first initial mistakes. Again, going back to the case with this TikTok account that I mentioned earlier in the video, I spent, and that was, by the way, one of my many TikTok accounts. I believe I was running in total, or attempted to run at least 4 TikTok accounts. So that particular one was like, I think it was in a genre of top 10 facts videos, informative videos. It's in Russian language, so you can't even read it, but trust me, it's the case. And then I was running like a sketch, funny sketch videos and whatever else I was running. Doesn't matter. It's not the point. The point is, yes, even though I attempted to run these accounts and they practically failed because I just abandoned them, I completely burnt out, that's fine. They still taught me something. And years down the road, and specifically what they taught me, for example, is video editing and being creative and creative videos and having the courage to be on camera and just show yourself to the world. And eventually those skills compounded and kind of came together, like pressured down to me, and combined with all the other skills to so that I was then able to pull off a project and a business like AI Guy. And now hear me out. Now I'm, in the grand scheme of things, I'm still not even a millionaire. And I know I'm now on the journey, on the road to becoming a multi-millionaire. It's now simply inevitable, which is freaking amazing to say. I clearly see the path of how I'm gonna get there. It's just a matter of time. But hear me out. Because of AI Guy, I was able to gain certain momentum. I was able to gain a lot of capital. I was able to gain connections and a lot of different points of leverage. Like, truly a lot of points. So the channel itself, now I see this channel not as a way to like earn ad revenue, because that's how people look at YouTube. They just think, oh, I have this YouTube channel, I'm gonna make 2K a month as ad revenue. No. I get views, and views can be monetized at a much larger scale. So that's the first point of leverage. I have attention, and we are now in a attention economy. If you can point attention at yourself, like eyeballs, that's money. That's more valuable than money. So that's the first point of leverage. Now, because I did get somewhat famous, I don't consider myself being a famous person, but objectively, I have this many subs as of now on the main channel. So it's kind of being famous a little bit. And because of that, I gained crazy connections and I networked with millionaires here in Miami, by the way. I'm also going to attach a picture of that, just so you don't think I'm lying. That's the second point of leverage. Third point of leverage is connections with brands, and then just money itself, capital. The point I'm trying to make here, the next thing I'm getting to, is now I'm launching a software. I didn't just put up some basic no code software like it's trendy right now. No, it's like software. It's like a company. I already have 2 employees. Like, the software hasn't even launched yet. I already have 2 employees. I have also another business partner, and I have an LLC. I have a bank account. Like, it's all official. It's happening June 1st. And it cost me as of now more than $40,000. Not 14, but $40,000. 40. Again, 2 years ago, I used to work in a pizzeria and I used to earn like 25K per year. And now I'm able to put in over 40 bands in a software play, because it's all momentum based game. Entrepreneurship is just like, once you get on the track and once you get going, it just explodes exponentially. And but it's all a matter of reps. Like, version of me 4 years ago that was making TikToks was not capable of putting together a software. Even a version of me 2 years ago when I was making pizzas, yes, I was able to put together AI Guy, although it cost me blood, sweat, and tears. And I was literally working 20 hours a day to pull this off, in order to build this version of me that's sitting in front of you today, right? Because you have to also build yourself. You have to like really manually brute force yourself into becoming a stronger and wiser person. That's just the only way to go about this. And now I'm launching a software. And that's just so exciting to me, because some of the millionaires I talk to here, they're software owners. So, and just really successful business people. And they gave me some solid advice, and I kind of know how to move. It's just, again, a matter of time to see success with it. But a software is something that can gain you the real money. Like, you know, potentially 3 years down the road, I could sell this software for 8 figures. Truly, I could exit this thing for millions of dollars, and by this, like before I turn 30 years old, I could become a multi millionaire. And at this point, I'm not even, it's not a dopamine talk. I'm not fantasizing. It's facts. It's the reality of things now, which is also real. But again, guys, I just cannot stress this enough. If that kid in 2021 was not making TikTok videos, and I wasn't just trying consistently and recklessly and without giving a shit of being embarrassed, I was actually embarrassed. My like friends were low key making fun of me, but I didn't care. I didn't care because I just knew I had to go through these stages and cycles. Back then, I probably didn't know it. I was just trying because I was broke, completely flat broke, and so I was rather desperate. But yeah, it's been a long yapping session. I hope you guys extracted some value. Again, bottom line, you have to just try, just do something. But don't do something strategically. Model the people who've seen success. Of course, if I could go back in time, I would have become successful so much faster because it's all about the knowledge. It's all about the skill set. So don't try to skip the grind though. Like if you understand that you want to get somewhere but you're lacking something, just jump in. Identify what you're lacking, or really try to pick up a new skill and just do it over and over again until you get good enough at it. I mean, even me making this video right now, it's definitely certainly not no Hollywood level production, but I've made over, you know, I don't even know how many videos I made on this channel, but look at this video you're watching right now, the production quality, the way I'm telling a story, and go with we'll look at the very first video I ever posted. It was recorded on a potato webcam. It was like a 6 hour video editing course, which was not edited. It was like I had it, you know, I was saying things like yeah, like my speaking skills were not so as advanced as they are now, although my speaking skills have a long way to go from here. But you get my point. It's all an ever evolving game. As simple as that. You just never stop evolving, and that's it. That's the game of entrepreneurship. But anyway, as far as the plans and what the future holds, yeah, I'm just another reason again I made this video is to for me to be able to look at it back at it maybe 3 years later. Just I mean, today again, the reason I made this video is this TikTok account appeared on my radar out of nowhere. I was just on my computer. I was doing something, and somehow, somewhere, I found the link that took me to this TikTok, and I sat there for like good 15 minutes just staring at this TikTok, and I just genuinely forgot it even existed. It was 4 years ago. It was so many projects ago. So many things have happened. I just forgot I did it. But then I saw it, memory kicked in, you know, nostalgia. I remembered actually recording these videos. I remember the process of creating these videos. I remember the struggle of making these videos. It was an interesting time, and it all went through my mind. It just got me really thinking how it all just evolves and grows. But in all it takes again is just consistent reps and the ability to never give up on yourself. You understand, if you never give up on yourself, you cannot lose. And the moment you decide, all right, let it go, you lose. And I've lost, but the thing is, you can always come back. There's nothing wrong with it as well, I guess. You must take a couple of losses to get to where you want to get. I technically lost a bunch of times. I gave up a bunch of times, but then there was a moment every time where I decided to pick myself right back up and just get right into it, right back into it. And here we are in Miami, living life, building software companies and YouTube channels and helping people. And actually, here's the thing, and again, it's not my way to promote the course, but I now documented my teachings. Partially due to my teachings, there are now other people who also see success on YouTube, which is also insane. So you never know. You might eventually accumulate so much data in your head that you will then have the ability to teach others. And that's even more, actually even more rewarding, because one of my students, I'm not going to mention her name, she in the academy, her channel, I believe it hit like 3K a month, which is insane. Partially, at least due to my teaching, someone is now making 3K a month. That's also insane. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm going to go for a walk because it's now evening in beautiful Miami. And thank you for watching all the way through. If you did, let me know in the comments. Let me know what else you want to see on this channel. I do want to get consistent, more or less. I can't be like extremely consistent because, you know, life is busy. But yeah, see you next time.